Hey guys, I know I haven't been in a video in a while, but I will be back for the foreseeable future. We are touring an Alden Dolphin 47 in this video.
So we were able to find this boat for sale locally here in Marathon, and it's a classic cutter-rigged ketch, center cockpit, definitely a boat that piqued our interest.
Before we get to the tour, we did want to briefly mention, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us a lot.
Let's get to the tour.
We're going to start at the aft deck. We are standing next to the mizzen right now. It has a boom furled mizzen.
The sun's blaring in our eyes, but I'll give you a good look at that boom furler. Pretty cool.
So you can see that it has some solid rails on the aft deck back here with a grill and a nice opening with good handholds and I wanted to say folding ladder. It does look like it folds, but it's down.
Alright, and then you have dinghy davits as well back here. So turning forward,
you have storage compartments on both sides of this aft deck with a really nice wood cover. Port side, we've got, it looks like propane.
then down here on the starboard side, nice big aft compartment back here.
So occasionally you might hear a slight rumbling sound, and that is a wind generator here on the mizzen mast as well as radar.
Up the mizzen. Got our radar and the wind generator on that right there. Good location. We do have some running backstays on the mizzen as well. Let's go forward.
Back here on the aft portion of the deck, we also have a large opening hatch for the aft cabin, which we'll show you later.
We're gonna come back to the cockpit. We're gonna go forward first.
Moving forward, you have a slight step down and a nav light, which would probably help you see that step down if you're moving during the night. This is also where you would get onto the deck from the dock. So we've got a handhold coming forward, which is always nice. And I like to see that these lines are nice and organized and they go into the cockpit, which is awesome.
And that's a pretty high coach roof right there, so
oh yeah,
pretty safe. Gonna go ahead and take a look at the main mast right here. We do have a mainsail furler on the boom there, so furling boom for the mainsail as well. Looking all the way up. Double spreader main mast coming down.
It looks like cutter rigged.
Yep.
Would that be the correct term? Cutter rigged ketch.
We've got a self-tacking boom on the staysail right there.
Another large opening hatch for the forward cabin, and we have a large windlass up here as well to help you with your anchor chain.
Let's go up to the bowsprit. Pretty large bowsprit. We've got our staysail right here, and then forward of that we've got our headsail, and we've got two anchor rollers with anchor chain leading back.
That bowsprit is beautiful.
It is. This boat is beautiful. Very nice lines.
You have some additional ventilation with your rods, raise. We get corrected either way we say it.
That's why we always say salon and saloon.
Alright, pretty much the same on this side. Handrails, lifelines. You can see they've got very large ports.
Kind of a deck salon slash saloon setup.
And I guess we can go into the cockpit now.
Yep, and we've got a pretty large Dodger and Bimini. Could use a little bit of new canvas, but it's a good setup
frame,
right here.
Yes, for sure.
Entering the cockpit right here. take a look at the helm. And you guys know we love center cockpits.
It's got a nice nav pod too.
Got nice visibility forward. All the lines running to this cockpit. We've got electric self-tailing winches with foot controls down there.
That's nice.
That's going to be behind me. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. Let's turn around. What do you think, Randy?
It's nice. It's a very spacious cockpit because if you're here, there's still plenty of room for people on either side of you.
Definitely.
Even sitting next to you, really. This bench is quite large.
There's those electric winches behind you, so this boat seems like it's very easily single or short-handed.
Yes, I see we've got, is this the main sheet right here?
Yep.
Yeah, the main sheet's easily accessible.
Main sheet there, mizzen sheet there. We've got our winches right there. Those are going to be for the head sails. And then we've got
your main in, or I'm sorry, your main up, main down, stay sheet, stay out.
Got some more wind instruments behind you right there. And let's go down below. What do you think?
Yes.
Just before we go down below, it doesn't look like any of the cockpit seating opens up. And that is because, as you guys will see, there's going to be a lot of room down below. Alright guys, so I'm just going to give you a quick pan of the main saloon. Very nice deck salon setup.
Lots of ports. It doesn't look like they're opening ports though.
Lots of natural light at least.
Lots of natural light. And I like that they have shades too if you need it. There is some ventilation though because you can open this hatch right here.
What do you think, Randy? You want to start with the galley?
Yeah. So it has a nice little galley setup. It looks like this is either a cooler or a fridge. Or both? What would you say?
I would call that cold storage.
Cold storage. Safe to
That would
say.
cover us if it's
Yes.
a fridge or a freezer.
Looks like a composite sink, which I really like the idea of rather than a steel.
Yeah, I like that.
You've got some storage up above. You've got storage along the sides here. You've got a gimbaled range, so oven and stove top. So moving back, you have your settees on either side of your saloon or salon, as well as a table with folding leaves, so you can make it a little larger if you want it. They're making sure they're using all the space here, so you have like almost like a small chase over here on this side. Tons of storage behind this one, it looks like, and I believe this boat must have AC. It looks as though it does.
Vents right there and vents right up there.
Alright.
So one thing I've just realized that I've seen in some other boats now that I really like is these right here. You can grab onto them. And it's kind of hidden, you know, you don't really see the handrails, but they're there.
I didn't notice, that's awesome.
And that's all along the whole main saloon.
So behind the settee, you have some additional storage here. Let's see if there is also storage below. There is. So there's also storage below the settees. Good spot for your dry goods.
Let's look at the other one.
On the starboard side, oh, there isn't anything on this one. Let's see. Not on this one either. But I do notice, actually. Just kidding. It's accessible from the top. So, oh, there's actually a really good amount of storage. Those are deep.
Very nice. And what about down below?
So on this side, all of the storage, you don't really have to lift the cushions off, it looks like. It is dark, but it goes all the way to the side.
So a very large storage
Very
compartment.
deep, yes.
Down there as well. Can you access it from above as well, or no?
Let's see. Yes, you can.
It's also accessible from up top, but you got a very large storage compartment underneath that settee there. And if I had to guess, there's probably going to be something underneath this cabin sole, but as you guys can see, you need like a special key to pull them up, so
We don't have that.
we don't have that.
Going forward, behind this door, which I love when the doors latch so they're not banging around, you have additional storage, just a hanging locker. Alright, we can secure this door again. And on the starboard side, we have a head.
It looks like it's accessible from right there.
Yes, so it's accessible from the saloon and also from the V berth.
And I do enjoy whenever, you know, you're guest head or your forward head is also accessible from 2 locations.
So there is some additional panels that can be lifted with that special key here and here. And then your V berth.
So Randy moved out of the way, and I'm gonna step down a little bit. So here is the V berth. There's the door that you can access that head. This panel comes out to make that a little bit easier if you needed to. Spinning around. More cabinets. And then we have a Randy. And I believe the compression post is right here.
So we've got a sleeping Morgan right here. So moving aft, we're back in the salon and galley area, and to starboard we hadn't mentioned yet, there is a little nav station area. So you have storage here and here. You've got your electronics, VHF, power, electrical I should say. I believe this is the generator, or is that the motor?
That's gonna be generator.
Generator. All right. And a secondary GPS unit, which is awesome.
Yep, so not really a place to sit, but you do have a dedicated location for, you know, navigation supplies and electronics.
Continuing back, we have more electrical. We have additional storage. Let's see if I can open this one.
Alright, and turning into the engine room, I do have the light on in there, so you should be able to see it. We've got the engine, looks like a Perkins diesel, and a Westerbeek generator. Nice big engine room, lots of engine access. I like to see that. Turning back aft.
We have the aft cabin. So we have kind of like a couple vanity situations over here. We have a transceiver back here as well. I thought was interesting. And I like this little staircase to the bed because the bed is quite high. The berth, I should say.
The berth is high, but it is very big.
Yes. And then this is the compression post for the mizzen mast. Looks like you have an AC vent right above your bed, which would be much appreciated in a hot summer month.
Perfect location. Alright, and then we've got kind of the head for the aft cabin here. And it does look like, you know, it is pretty large. I wouldn't call it a separate shower, but it's kind of like an integrated shower, so.
And I like that it has a roll-away door.
You don't see pocket doors too often.
In sailboats. I did want to mention too, because the saloon didn't have a lot of opening ports, once you get to the aft cabin there are opening ports. So again, on those hot nights, it's nice to get some ventilation back here.
They look to be like some kind of metal, bronze or steel
yeah,
or aluminum.
They're painted, but they're definitely metal. And again, that large opening hatch, so good ventilation back here. Definitely necessary.
Looking forward, second little vanity right there, TV, and there's that other vanity.
We didn't show the locker.
And then we've got our hanging locker right there. Alright guys, I'm in the V-berth of this boat with a sleeping baby, and I'm about to do the full continuous below decks walkthrough from bow to stern. Alright guys, so starting at the V-berth, we've got the door to go into the forward head, spinning around, turning aft. I've got the other door here to go into that forward head, but I've got to turn around to show you. Got Randy. There's that forward head. Nice big white head. Alright, spinning back around. Got a very nice and open main salon area. Lots of room to hang out. Very cozy, nice and comfortable. Got our galley. Got our chart table, companionway up into the center cockpit, going aft. Got storage to the left, engine compartment to the right. Vanity to the left. Large berth to the aft. On the port side, we've got our ensuite head. Turning forward. Got our little secondary vanity right there. And that's it, guys.
So what did you think about the boat?
I mean, the boat definitely has positives and negatives. I mean, I think starting with the positives, it is a very pretty looking boat. Classic lines, it's a center cockpit, it has a huge bowsprit that was beautiful. It was a cutter rigged ketch, and it had boom furling for both the main and the mizzen, which, you know, I really like, and I think Randy really likes as well.
It had a self-tacking jib as well, which is always nice when you're on a passage.
Yep, electric winches, so it was really set up to be single or short-handed for sure.
The interior had a very functional design. There was a lot of light coming in the big ports in the salon area. Yes, they weren't opening ports, but it did have hatches and other ventilation that would allow you to get some airflow through. And everything was easily accessible, which would make it quick to find items that you might need throughout your trips.
I liked the two head layout, especially with that forward head that's accessible from both the V-berth and the salon area. I think you guys might, you know, notice a trend. I like when that's incorporated into, you know, designs like this. And then the aft cabin with the ensuite head was pretty nice as well.
That's a really nice feature of center cockpit boats, when you can fit in an aft cabin like that with the nice ensuite head. That's always a benefit.
Definitely. The engine access was really good, and the engine room was huge for this size of boat. So I think those were kind of all the brief positives we noticed about this boat. What about some of the, you know, kind of critiques?
There's definitely some woodwork that needs to be done on the interior. I would say I noticed like where we had maybe had some previous leaks in there, or I don't know if there's, it didn't seem like there was anything currently wet, but maybe some prior leaks.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old boat, and it's an old boat that has a lot of wood down below, so
lots of boats have little leaks.
Yeah,
different places.
and so it needs a little bit of work in some areas for sure. One negative about the design that I noticed was that the galley wasn't necessarily very big, and I'm not sure if I really liked the shape because it was like an L, and then there wasn't a way to brace if you were, you know, cooking on the stove when you're underway. What do you think?
Right, that's one of the benefits of like a galley-shaped galley. You're always able to brace yourself, or even a nook. You can kind of hook yourself in. I've seen straps for that. But the L shape does make it a little more challenging to safely brace yourself.
Yeah, and then I think one more critique about the design was that, you know, it did have that nav station, but it didn't look like there was enough room for a chair there. Like, it didn't seem like you could actually sit at the nav station.
You could fit a small chair if you got creative with
Yeah, maybe. So, alright guys, so as you can see, the baby just woke up from her nap, so I think that's about it on the commentary on this boat.
We will have the broker's contact information and the asking price in the video description below. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to follow along with our journey, and hit the notification bell if you want to know each and every time we upload a video.
See you guys.
Bye.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little